Mad Dog's going to be on our show a little later this morning. Chris Russo used to do Mike and the Mad Dog here in New York City. He's going to hang with us for the first time, which is really cool. Yeah, because we're big fans of Mad Dog. He's in the paper today because they're asking a lot of sports. It was in the sports section. A lot of sports people who they're voting for and why and stuff. And Mad Dog had this to say: I voted for McCain. Tough call, eeny, meeny, miny, mo thing. I have no problem redistributing wealth, but I think there's an element of people sitting on their fannies. Let's go tax the wealthy up and down to make sure the guy on Main Street can sleep until 10 o'clock in the morning. That kind of thing. I think that element steered me to McCain. So pretty much saying what Ann's saying.
Yeah.
Looking forward to him stopping by today. I am very, very happy to tell everybody that we got Chris Russo in studio. We've been fans of Mad Dog. Not so much Mike. I'll be completely honest with you. I listened to the Mike and the Mad Dog back when you guys were doing your thing, and to hear you.
Well, I appreciate that, guys. But that partnership, Anthony, how are you, pal?
Hi, great.
That partnership lasted a long time, and I could not have lasted that long without a good partner. So I appreciate that. But now you put me in a tough spot. Mike finds out about it, and then he gets mad at me. So what are you going to do?
Did the story ever get back to you guys that we drank Mike's wine and smoked his cigars?
Did you? Well, I know.
It never got back to you?
The story did get back to us that you like to make fun of Mike. And you always imitated me and all the way I talk and fast.
We referenced the story.
Mikey. I always heard that all the time.
This goes back when we were at NAW, but we did some gig on Long Island at a really nice place, and they sold lockers for like the big wigs.
Where you kept your wine and cigars, and had a little brass nameplate on there and everything.
And we saw Mike's locker.
And Mike's had a locker at this place?
Yeah.
Because he doesn't drink wine and hates cigars.
Well, then I don't know why he had this, because he had this. And the owner really liked us, and not so much Mikey at the time. And he opened up the locker.
And so you saw what was inside, and had a good bid on it for about a couple of weeks, right?
We had at it.
We drank it.
We had at
it. And this is an unbelievable studio. I can work here myself. You got TVs left and right. You got a little studio morning.
I know, isn't it great?
God.
Well, why don't you tell stupid Scott Greenstein how nice it is, because he's trying to get us out of here and put us in the...
Well, the rent's high, so as a result...
Save a few bucks, I guess.
Oh, that's what it comes down to.
Because you're broadcasting in a little box, right?
Box.
And that's what they want to do with us.
Oh, we can't.
It's going to be hard to go from here to there.
Yeah, we're going to need room. We need room.
This is a wonderful spot.
Yeah. Most of the time we need room because I don't want to be near the people we drag in here a lot of the times because they either smell bad or they spit when they talk.
You got good fans. Are they here at 6 o'clock in the morning?
Not so much the fans. No, that's over when we're over at the other side, over at CBS.
So
from 9 till 11, we have some fans over there. Friday's usually big. That whole room gets filled up.
And how do you adjust a show like that, where you could do certain things on one channel and certain things you can't do on the other channel? How do you do that?
We don't even think about it. It just happens.
It's like all of a sudden
it's not that hard.
You get that mindset like you're over an old girlfriend's parents' house again. You can't curse over there. And I think it works well with having to adhere to FCC regulations over there first, and then coming over here and being able to let loose.
You'd rather do this last to start your day doing that, so you're not in the practice of going crazy all day.
I throw a few F-bombs out and then go over to regular radio. That would be a lot tougher.
Because it happens. We drop them over there a lot of times, and you got a guy on the dump button and everything, but sometimes... you lose your mind, you drop the F-bomb.
And how about, 14 years? I worked with Mike for 19, but we saw each other at night. We didn't see each other first thing in the morning. How about 14 years at 5:30 in the morning? That's not that easy.
Well, no, we've only been doing mornings for 4.
Oh, we were doing afternoons.
Yeah, afternoons was a lot easier.
And then we had 2 years where we weren't doing anything.
Yeah.
So we were
I think we went
sitting out.
I think we went almost a year where we didn't talk to each other.
Is that
so weird that we're now back doing this. Yeah.
A year? So you spent a year, didn't even talk to each other?
We were traveling around and stuff when we got the boot.
We were so bummed out and like, what the fuck, that we kind of went our own directions for a while.
Did you lose? You lost faith in radio at that point? You said you're never going to work in radio the rest of your life?
Everyone else said we would never work again. But,
so I started believe that, and they were paying us, which was good, but we wanted to work. You know, radio. If you're out of it too long, people forget.
Oh, absolutely.
Care,
I'm sure they sure do. So, But so now you look at each other for 5 mornings a week for 4 years. 5:30 in the morning. That's not that easy.
No, that's you're staring at the newspaper and the computer screen, and
it's
don't
easy.
talk too much off the air, so that way
you got to get into the groove. You got to get to 8:30 before you want to talk to anybody.
You know what though? It's easy when you go to the bank. You go, oh yeah, okay.
Now I remember why I did this.
Checks.
This is working. Okay.
I remember I sold out years ago. That's right.
That's right. We did.
Yeah. So what are you doing? You work alone? You just
right now I have to put together this channel. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to get hosts in to get this channel set up 24 hours a day, sports talk. Mm-hmm. I got I hired a nighttime guy. I hired 2 guys from 10 to 2. Have not hired a morning guy yet. Hired some update guys yet. I've hired some update guys, and I do 2 to 7 right now since September 15th.
Right.
So I'm doing 2 to 7 on the Sirius 123 XM 144.
Yeah.
Monday through Friday. But remember, there's nothing else on that channel besides me. So I'm sort of an island on that channel. Yeah. So just trying to establish a sports presence on that channel where they can go on a day in, day out basis has not been that easy.
And that's it's just you alone in there,
I
you bounce off of
I have a couple producers, same thing as you do, but not in the same kind of elaborate setup.
Yeah.
And I have an update guy is Steve Torrey, a good buddy from INS, who's in there.
Torrey's great.
He's excellent on the air.
Yeah.
Top and bottom of the hour, he does 2.5-minute updates. But as far as the show is concerned, right now, just me. No, I brought my old man in. He did Tony's Take. He's a big Yankee fan. Sure. Had some laughs with him. I bring Peter King in once a week, talk NFL football. Gary Danielson in once a week, talk college football. So I'm trying to add elements to it. But as far as the bulk of the show, right now, it's been me.
See, you know what? You have it harder, too, because I was telling you off air, when you stray and talk about politics or movies or pop culture, I like when you do that.
Right.
But you can't
It's not as easy by yourself.
But you can't they're definitely listening for the sports. Right, so you can't stray too long. And that makes it a lot harder, because with us, we go, all right, we'll talk a little sports now, then we'll go pop culture, then we'll talk music,
They're
lifestyle.
used to you doing your kind of show.
We got everything.
Yeah.
Sirius is not used to me. The fans who around the country don't want to hear me do some sports, so I have to just basically teach them. I don't have to teach them, but I want to make sure they get to know me a little bit.
Right, sure,
So when they get to know you got to talk about your kids, you got to talk about your tennis game.
Yeah, they want to know who's talking to them.
Right, they want to feel close to your host. That's what radio is better than TV, because they feel a bond to your radio host. They don't feel the bond to the TV personality.
Tennis is
I love the tennis.
It's come on.
I understand. I understand. And I can talk about my working out. I hired a personal trainer. So
you did.
Do you wear the cute tennis shorts? What are you doing?
Oh, I wear the tennis shorts. Yeah, don't forget it. Clubs where I live in Connecticut, you got to wear collared shirts. 90% white. You can't wear the colored. You got to wear 90% of the shirts. Got to be white. Tennis sneakers.
McCain
God forbid
country.
you walk down there with a basketball sneaker on and go crazy.
McCain country.
That's it. It's McCain country. There you go.
I don't know about that tennis thing. I tried it.
It's a good game.
And I like sports, but
it's a good game. You know why it's a good game?
Why?
Because tennis is a sport that you can play it your whole life, either doubles or singles, and you can play tennis as a singles player without getting physically hurt. Basketball, you play as an older, you jam fingers, you sprain ankles.
So is the tennis elbow, though.
From that. Tennis, it's physical, but it's not a damaging
golf?
sport. I play golf too.
But what's your handicap?
Any good?
It's about a 16.
Yeah.
Man.
But you know the problem with golf is?
That means it's a 12.
No, I'm a 13.
This guy's taking people's
I shot
money.
83 at Winged Foot this year.
Really?
Which is the best of it. I played 11 pars. I was hot. But the thing about golf is that it's a tough sport to play when you have little kids, because it's time consuming.
It's 5 hours.
So if I want to go play golf, and my kids are home from camp or something, and I tell my wife, Jeannie, I'm leaving at 9, and I'll be back at 4 o'clock, then I'm going to have a 100 to-do list when I get home, which I'd rather not have. So you got to pick your spots.
You just got to drive into the foursome in front of you. That's all. Just keep driving into it. Move, you son of a bitch.
We used to do that.
Oh, how many times are you just waiting for this idiot to putt? Well, we're young.
Plus in country clubs, they play, they're fight out on Nassau. I mean, they think they're Tiger at the U.S. Open of
kidding.
I mean, they sit there and they make sure they got to line that putt up and try to make it.
Oh, yeah.
But they finally have gone high tech with a lot of these courses, where if you're going too slow, your car starts blinking and stuff, and they send a guy
out. Get out of here. Your car blinks?
Something like that. Yeah, they got something
that
shows
the Rangers on the course tell you to move it along.
And they basically give you one warning and if I'm just saying the cart blinks or whatever, and if you just don't speed up after that, they yank you right off the fucking thing.
Well, you know, it's funny. I shoot the 83 at Wingfoot this year. Okay, so that's
how many gimmies?
No gimmies. I play with my brother-in-law, who's a good player. You know, it was a charity event, so 2 guys bidded to play. So you can play. So I play in a member at my club up in East Norwalk, Connecticut. It's a 3-day member. You pick a partner. Play with them for the last couple of years. You play in certain flights. You got to be 5 strokes within your partner's handicap. You got to win your flight to advance to a 3-hole playoff with the other flight winners. There's 8 flight winners. So this particular year, we won our flight for the second year. So we go to the first playoff hole. It's a 405-yard par 4 straight ahead. Everybody hits the tee shot. 16 players. They all hit the tee shots. And it's alternate shot in.
No kidding.
And the first 3 and the best 3 teams out of the ultimate shot go to the next hole. Best ball there, then you go to the final hole. So it's a fun little playoff thing. So last year I got to the final, who hit the ball out of bounds, lost. This year, my partner and I both hit 2 shots. I hit it to the left rough. He hits it straight ahead, not as far as 68 years of age, not as far. We decide to take his ball, which means I have to hit the next shot. 250 people. I'm 212 yards away. I take a 7-wood out, little uphill, and I have to hit this ball on the green because everybody's it's a handicap hole, so you have to par this. You got to get a 4 for 3 to advance.
Sure.
I line up my 7-wood, raring to go, got the tiger red shirt on, you know, the power shirt, the black pants. It's a Sunday afternoon. I'm all jazzed up, you know me. So I get up there with the 7-wood, take my practice swing, and I hit a 7-wood about 210, 212, and it's a downhill, so if you hit it at 180, it's going to roll onto the green, blah, blah, blah. And I line up, and I hit it as hard as I could, and I swing and miss.
Did you really? I was joking.
That is the most embarrassing.
Does that count? Or can you just
It
do it?
counts.
That
You better
is
believe it
so
counts.
embarrassing.
And everybody was in stunned silence, you know.
whiff.
And at a country club like that, they know who I am, so they want to see me humbled, but they don't want to be embarrassed for me.
Yeah.
So they'd rather have me hit the ball, hit a lousy shot, than not hit the ball at all.
And just miss.
And so I swung and missed, and my partner went up. The bottom line is we lost. We didn't advance. But to swing and miss from 212 yards in front of literally 250 people, you know, all smoking cigars, you know,
having a good time.
high-class
It was
people.
the choke.
Oh, my God. It was the most embarrassing moment of my sports
Couldn't you
life.
just say that it was a practice swing and you weren't trying to hit it?
You know,
Yeah.
Like,
you
you think
could
I
get
could
away.
suck that badly? Of
You know
course
what?
not.
Golf's an honor sport. And so, you know the way golf, they penalize themselves. I hit the wrong ball, they give themselves a 2-shot penalty. So from that standpoint, I wanted to be honest. Hey, swung and missed.
Yeah.
Boom.
A lot of times you
There you
find
go.
yourself, you're, alone in the woods there looking for your lost ball.
Yeah.
You could drop
Oh, a
one
lot of
out.
people do that.
There's
I
a
have
lot
no-
of honor in
don't-
golf.
I have-
Don't play with Rich Voss. He does exactly that.
Nah.
And shoots 76. I'm like, this isn't the ball you started
Absolutely.
off with.
You got to be
Has a
careful.
big gash in
You're only
it.
cheating yourself.
Yeah.
You're only cheating yourself.
Yeah.
That's the last time. Well, I played one other time since then. I've only played once since that shot on August 11th. So there you go.
Nice.
I know a hot chick who really wants to work for you. She's really sexy. She models, and she's obsessed with you. She wants to work. She's not a crazy person. She just loves sports radio.
You know what she is, though?
No, I don't think you knows
clue.
her, but it's not an unhealthy obsession. She's
Well,
a-
why don't you have her give me a holler, and we'll see what we can
I
do.
really, she's been contacting me.
like-
So that's be on the air or behind the scenes?
I don't know, actually. I didn't ask.
like how you
It had
work.
nothing to do with me, so I didn't ask.
What are you doing here? Why don't you guys do a little work? Anthony, I'm surprised at you. I need all the help I can get over there.
I got my own things going on. Listen, believe me.
I'll tell you, there's a guy who loves to eat his own shit, but when he's not doing that, he does a good job with sports. Eastside Dave. You should give Eastside Dave a minute
I'm
or
not
two.
Dave. He's looking at me like I'm Dave.
No, I just went like that.
Okay.
He's one of the guys on Ron and Fez, and he knows he likes his sports a lot.
Why don't you send me some resumes and tapes, anything? I'm
will.
5 blocks down
Yeah.
the street.
All right, you'll get
I
around the
need
corner.
people.
You'll get a tape from Eastside Dave immediately.
I'll tell you something that's interesting.
Maybe you give him a couple minutes here and there. Maybe you find some little
Find a
niche for him.
segment for him.
Yes.
Trying to find hosts in America
Yeah.
to do sports talk. Not that easy.
Hard these days.
You'd be surprised. You'd say, God, there's got to be 30 guys who are dying who have some ability.
There's a guy
Not
that
that
does
easy.
a really good friend of mine. He's in Buffalo. His name's Bull. He does like sort of color commentary for the Bills,
That's a good job.
and he's in the locker room after every game. He knows his shit big time.
I got a guy at GR I'm talking to right now. That's a good station. That does the Bills and Sabres station, WGR.
What's his name? Rich?
No, it's I don't have the sheet in front
All right,
of me.
no worries.
It's
That's just
Jeremy something. I caught the talk. So what I did is I called a Seattle Rick Scott. I called a radio sports talk consultant. Told him what I was looking for. Need some hosts, and he gave me about 8 to 10 people. So I'm trying to
Very nice.
Hey,
Check 'em out.
this is after 2.5 months of searching the country.
Yeah.
Not that easy.
How about Benigno?
You have a pretty.
He's under contract.
Oh, so Kevin, tell me, what are they going to do? Sue him?
You know, I don't want to steal anybody from FAN either. That's a little dicey.
You have a pretty interesting story, though, how you got in the business.
Well, I worked in, my first job, I went to Rollins College, a little yuppie school. I loved it, but, in Orlando, Florida, Winter Park, Florida. And my first job was in Jacksonville. And I worked for the Jacksonville Suns baseball team because I wanted to be a play-by-play announcer. So I went to the baseball winter meetings in '82, and the job I ended up getting was being the announcer for the AA baseball Jacksonville Suns.
Jesus.
I got there in February of '83. Season starts in March. I sold advertising to sort of as a prelim, and lo and behold, 6 weeks before the season, 6 weeks into the job, they fire me.
Why?
Haven't sold enough advertising. They were a little worried about putting me on the air. So they used the excuse I hadn't sold enough advertising. And I had sold plenty of advertising. Program ads, season tickets, billboard advertising. And I'm 23 years of age, right out of college, Jacksonville, Florida. That is not an easy job. Lo and behold, got fired, knocked on radio station doors. The first door I knocked on, a Dawn to Dusk station, WEXI 1280, hired me. And they hired me to sell, with the hope that one day, get on the air. The first day I started was St. Patty's weekend. The first day I start, 5 days later, their sports guy who was there for 2 years gives up his notice. He's moving to Washington, D.C. Lo and behold, I got a weekend sports talk program.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to have that guardian angel.
Yeah,
No
that's
kidding.
how so you get lucky.
Sometimes
and,
you have
then
to have that
make
guardian.
then you got to make something of it.
I mean, look at this job I got here. Listen, I got a good job. I mean,
Yeah,
okay, you
yeah.
want to tell me I made a big move? I left Mike. We had a great partnership. Big, fun listener. New York.
it's exciting.
Sure.
It's something new.
I had Mel bring me in who was, tell me, Chris, listen, channel, director, star, producer, do anything you want. Carte blanche.
Right.
Now, you tell me at 48, I'm 49 now. You tell me at 49 years of age, after 20 years at FAN, where I wasn't going to get this offer 5 years down the road when I'm in the mid-50s, you tell me how in the world you turned down that job. It's impossible. You can't do it.
Yeah.
I want a challenge. I want to do something a little different. That's why I took it.
Hey, did you guys hate each other at the end?
I think it was time for a change, but we never hated each other. You guys, listen, you guys have your issues. Now, you guys are good buddies.
Yeah.
You guys have your issues. When you work with someone, I knew Mike better than his wife knew Mike.
That's
Mike
what it
knew
is.
me better than his wife, better than my wife knows me.
When you spend so much
19
time,
years.
when you spend so much time together, you do have issues every so often that pop up, quirks, things, whatever. But it's this relationship, a business relationship, a working relationship, and then especially with a weird job like this, because you have to talk and communicate on a daily basis. There were times at NEW and stuff where we had a tiff and a tiff and have to get on the air. And that's the hardest
Not that
thing.
easy.
Is when now you're looking at each other or not looking at each other.
Let me jump in, though. What was weird about that, the mics are on, and nothing is wrong. Mics go off. We don't even want to look at each other, and we want to. And we're back to almost like fighting over whatever the issue was. I don't remember.
Doesn't
anymore.
last that long. Couple days maybe, and you bounce back.
But then the
wasn't either. It
mic's
was like
back
a day.
on, and we're like, "Hey, buddy."
So you guys
it
are
was
friends.
the
You can
weirdest
tell.
thing.
You guys are friends. Doing comedy, they don't want to hear you hating each other.
No,
They want to laugh with you.
Well,
Although
every once in a while
occasionally
it's
they
fun.
do like
They
a
want to
good
see. They want to
beating.
see some
Me
fighting.
and
They
Jim-
do like someone getting a sound thrashing every so often.
Jimmy and I went at it for like 45 straight minutes one day, and just sat there and went, "Oh Jesus!"
I was just having
Oh, my
flashbacks when I
God.
was a kid. My parents are arguing, just sitting there shaking. They
You
were
have any-
really.
You have any brothers or sisters?
Oh yeah, I got a younger sister and an older brother.
Yeah.
How about you? Ope?
I'm a big family, one of 7.
One of
yeah,
7.
he's
I'm an
boys,
only
2
child.
girls.
Oh really?
Very
Okay.
obvious. Very obvious.
All right, the spoiled attention hog.
But I went to a boarding school in upstate New York when I was 13 years of age.
Yeah.
Boarding school.
140 kids. I was there for 4 years. So, I had a...
You're very used to individual attention. 140 kids is not many people for them to focus on.
I had 12 kids in my
Did you
class.
come from money?
No, I really didn't.
I'm like
Middle class.
Connecticut,
Syosset.
boarding school,
Syosset.
Syosset.
That's not that wealthy,
Yeah.
Syosset. North Shore of Syosset.
There's some nice North Shore. Yeah, the North Shore of
Not
Syosset
too far
ain't
from
too bad.
25A in
That's
Syosset.
not too
Do
bad.
you know what I love
really?
about Russo and I love about Mike, too, is the fact you guys defended Imus.
Oh, we defended Imus. You deserve it.
these guys.
absolutely.
Really
That was a biggie.
Wasn't right what
I
they did
love
to
the
him.
fact that
We
these
were on
guys
the same
were vocal
train,
about
man.
that.
Yeah, you guys.
We were yelling and screaming.
Oh,
he
yeah.
supported you guys big time.
Absolutely.
He was very happy that what you guys did.
always
Yeah.
got along with him.
Job at that.
Good guy.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
we got something for you.
Let me hear.
Very special.
People don't realize how long 5.5 hours is. I know Mike. He knows me better than Mike knows Roe and better than I know Jeannie. I mean, the bottom line. Mike knew me before he knew Roe. Before he had 3
Oh,
kids,
this is
I knew Mike.
crazy.
Before I had 4 kids.
Oh, you are a son of a bitch,
Why
man.
are you doing that here?
We had so much fun with
Oh,
this.
did you guys go crazy?
I never heard
Oh,
this.
God.
I never
Were
heard
you
this.
away?
Yeah, we hear this.
No. Listen to this.
I never heard this.
We are, I got to tell you, we are huge fans of when the sports star cries. We
Oh,
can't.
Mike Schmidt when he hits his
Thank you.
That's a
All right.
great one.
No, have you
Oh,
heard
no, with the one where
the
he's
retirement speech?
Oh, that was it. It was the
We
retirement.
gotta
It wasn't
play
the
that.
final home run. It was his retirement in
Yeah.
Pittsburgh when he was crying. 88. Yes.
Yeah.
And then we.
It's great.
I give Mike credit for that because the FAN would not put me on.
I know.
Yeah, true.
So sure.
How much does that suck about radio? You do.
I hate that. 19 years. You give
work
me a
your
life.
balls off for a company. You make them a
Yeah,
lot of
what is
money.
19 years.
A lot of
every
money.
day of my life.
And
Yeah.
and they can't do the right thing in the end.
What is it
not
about
gonna,
radio
it's
that
not going
they
to affect
don't
anything.
understand it?
It's always worked that way.
But I did cry. I called in. I was spontaneous.
Did you? Let me hear.
Oh,
I didn't
God,
hear
yes.
that.
Before I had 4 kids, I knew my wife.
He
So.
took his headphones off.
Oh God.
It's off. It's done.
Oh, it's done?
Yeah.
Oh boy. So you made you guys had a lot of fun with that one, huh?
He made him put his headphones on.
Jimmy got him.
Jimmy
suck.
I lied. I've actually did hear that before. It was terrific.
You know, I tell you, we did get a lot of publicity, did we not? Oh
Yes,
my
you did.
God.
Oh, man.
You did very well.
Yeah.
We
my
did well.
friend.
Yeah, we did well.
Hey,
That was a nice moment, though. You called
a
it.
nice
It was very
moment. I mean,
genuine.
it was.
You're not phony.
But
It's great.
these guys,
gotta make
these
you really
guys want
get
to
that.
They don't understand that men can sometimes distribute a little homosexual behavior is not bad.
we got to make fun, but of course that's great radio right there. Who's,
That was good
who's
radio.
turning that
Yeah.
off?
Yeah, who's going to turn that off? Now,
I wanna-
to talk about him getting married.
What's wrong with getting
Can I do
married?
this?
My
Well,
age.
what's guy? You're not. You're
I
in the
was.
stage. You're in
I
the-
was.
All right, this is what I do then.
It wasn't an easy call.
I could. What do you think you're dealing with a rookie here?
I know,
Let's
I know,
talk.
I'm not.
For a second, I thought you were playing me in court during my divorce.
Or yesterday watching the election results.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, this is actual audio of Anthony watching Obama win. We should change. We'll talk about that in a second, but I want to change gears because you were in the paper today. We read your quote. It was great.
Right.
You voted for McCain over
Right.
Obama.
No, I mean,
you said
I
it was.
could have gone out of the way.
You
with
said
it
it was a toss-up.
Right, toss-up
You
my own
basically
head.
said, what was your quote? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and you
Eeny,
chose
meeny,
McCain?
basically.
But you're,
Good thing you didn't continue that little song.
and you had something to say,
the redistribution of wealth.
and
Yeah.
part of that frustration because you don't want to give handouts to
And there is
people,
that element. There is that element of it.
right, that are going to end up just sleeping to 10 o'clock every morning.
Right.
Like,
And I think a lot of people who are taxed heavily, and we're all taxed heavily, the three of us in this room, there is that element that, you almost feel like, hold on now, you're getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning every day for, I know you're getting a lot of money, but still, you're getting up every day to try to produce a talk show. Say, it doesn't have to be radio people, it could be anything.
Sure.
So, and you don't want to feel that your work is taken care of. You want to do your share. And we all know the environment's tough for everybody, so you want to help, but you don't want to get people lazy. Well, you know what, I'll sit around, I'll collect unemployment, no big deal, because then the big guy's going to get taxed.
He's going to work, we're
That
getting
drives you crazy.
taxed. And I pay enough taxes.
We all
I'm
pay
doing
for
my
it.
share.
That's what I mean. We all feel like we're doing our shit. Why should I have to do more?
Yeah.
I mean, nobody helped me when I was 25 years old.
Thank
or
you.
24
That's
years.
exactly
That
what I was
the point.
saying.
That was the point of the
we
quote.
came up with a great solution. If we're going to have to pay even more, all we ask is that we get to choose the people we help. Imagine
do that anyway.
That's not a
But
terrible
imagine
idea.
that. But no, but for real.
Yeah, it's not going to work that way, but that's not a terrible
And you
idea.
can actually do that. It's called prostitution.
I did.
Jimmy Norton's been a fan of that one for a
Just
while.
500 for the little write-off.
I did like the speech. I liked Obama's speech, though.
You did?
Yeah.
I did. Did you guys see it live? Or
No,
you sleeping
I finally had a bail. I wanted to,
Can
but
watch it
was
through my
getting too
tears.
late.
well, McCain's speech was actually fairly
He
good,
actually
too.
did a good job.
But Obama did it. I thought he hit all the right chords. He's slick. He's slick. And he knows
He's
how to
very
communicate.
slick, but the thing is, I'm still not sure what his platform is. He says things, but then doesn't explain them. There's a lot of these issues that he's
to
come
politics.
up with, and you're like, yeah, well, what does that mean? Which leads me to believe, that this whole change thing. Well, you
know
still
what I
got
liked
a
about it, though, and
politician
I'll
in
bring
there.
this up today at 2 o'clock. I'll leave with it for 10 minutes and I'll get off it because I can't, as you said, I got to do sports. But the thing that I did like about it last night, watching it, and I didn't vote for him, I liked the idea that when you looked in the audience, you had black-white.
Well, yeah, there was a lot.
And we all know,
Yeah,
you
that's,
like, you had
the crowd
young,
right there.
and you had old, and not as much old, but you had
Not a lot
young
of
and you had
old white
black-white,
guys.
and you liked the idea that you had black-white.
So it's going to be very diverse disappointment.
You can look at it that way, too. Now, listen, it's funny. Sports guys don't get wrapped up. First black head coach, first black quarterback, because we had Doug Williams win a Super Bowl. We've had black head coaches in the NFL. We've had Jackie Robinson was 60 years ago.
Right.
So I don't think the sports fan, he cares about winning. The NBA, you go watch an NBA game, your favorite team's got, 10 or 12 black players. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's sports. So I don't think the sports fan cares as much, but obviously the meaningfulness for blacks, the fact that we have our first black president, it means a lot to them. I can't take that away from them. And if it inspires the one kid...
No matter how hard we try.
Right. If it inspires that one 10-year-old in L.A. living in a bad situation that now he can put the poster up of Obama as his president, and instead of doing something stupid, he'd do something good with his world, you know what? Then yesterday was a good day for American politics.
Hey, you didn't mention...
How come he wrapped it up so nicely?
Yeah, what the hell?
And we sit there arguing with each other for fucking 3 hours.
Well, you have 5 hours that you have to do it with. I don't have that
You could
much
have saved
time.
us 3-4 hours today with that. Hey, why didn't you mention Pumpsy Green?
Pumpsy.
Do you know who Pumpsy
I
Green
sure
is?
do. Red Sox, first Red Sox.
Why am I even trying?
Of course
to,
he does.
get him with
I
trivia?
love it.
Let's see if he knows the year.
Yeah.
Let's see if he knows the year.
No, I don't. I mean,
I think it was
Hold on,
59, wasn't it?
Yeah?
it was a lot later than
What year
Jackie
was Jackie
Robinson.
Robinson?
47.
Then it was 59, 12
Yeah, it
years.
was about-
Was it 12 years
Yes,
later?
it was.
Something
59.
like that.
Pumpsy Green, that's a good one.
was
I think it was the
Pumpsy
second
Green.
base.
Jim
wasn't it?
Rice. Jesus, of course he's
And
gonna
I'm
know
a big
Pump-
Rice fan. I mean, Rice should have been in New York. But see, I do think that sports guys, when I watch a sport, I don't, Doug Williams win a Super Bowl, who cares? You want the Redskins, if you bet the Redskins, you don't care who's the quarterback.
Right. Yeah, just win the goddamn
The black
game.
head coaches is the same thing, whether it's Willingham at Notre Dame, whether it's Marvin Lewis in Cincinnati, wherever it's not that important to me as a sports fan.
The thing we just noticed with the stats and stuff, is that all in your goddamn
absolutely,
head?
absolutely.
You just
God-given ability.
From when you were a kid.
Yep, absolutely.
You just
God-given.
amazing.
I believe it because the technology, when I was really listening to you guys, big time, you didn't have the Blackberries and
No,
the
I
internet
don't
wasn't
even know
that
how to
great.
use the stupid computer.
I'm
You should
talking
see me.
mid-'90s, but now it does make it easy with
Oh, it
all the
does make it easy.
technology
You
at your
can look up
fingertips,
things
but-
quickly. Absolutely. But I mean,
that's what always amazed me about you, listening, just going like, where did he pull that out of? Where the hell did he pull it out
there's
of?
going to be a day that the old man, that Mr. Russo becomes senile, that I won't be able to do that. So I better capitalize when I can.
19
Like how Tom Seaver played for the Jets.
I had a good.
1978 Super Bowl. Who won?
That 78, was that you're talking about the 78 season or the 78 Super Bowl?
I already know that.
Is it January 78 or is it January 79?
January 79, I know. That was a Cowboys loss
that was
to Pittsburgh.
35-31.
35-31.
What?
Jackie,
Holy shit! look
Jackie
at
Smith
these
dropped
guys.
a pass in the end
yes,
zone.
it was horrible.
Packers, Cowboys were down 35-17, scored 2 touchdowns late in the game. That's a
Fuck out of here.
I know this stuff.
You're Rain Man.
That's
I
great.
know,
Give me another one.
I know, you know, I
That's
know. You didn't listen to me.
fantastic. Oh, I know.
Give me a year.
What?
Just give me a year. And ask him, give him a baseball year and who won it.
That's a little harder.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
that's
Because it goes back further.
that's a
But
lot-
go throw a
right,
year
right.
at me.
I won't even go that far out.
Yeah, don't go
Let's
too
just
crazy.
go like
60s, 70s, or 80s.
yeah. Let's go 80, 83.
Oh, that's an easy one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Orioles beat the Phillies in 5 games, and they lost the first game and beat them 4 straight. Mike Schmidt won for 15 in the World Series. How do you know that? It's a simple
How do you not know that?
Come on.
Dude,
we don't even know if it's
understand how
true.
astounding this is.
That's easy.
This is like magic.
Wow. I
Wow.
love that history stuff,
That's
though.
good.
I do love that history stuff.
That is good.
How about who lost the 1973 division series?
The Mets beat the Reds. It was called the championship series then because the divisional series were not there.
It shows you that I've made this up.
Look at him. He got you.
Mets beat the Reds in the National League, and the A's beat the A's probably beat the Orioles. I have to look that one up. I think they beat the Orioles. You got me on one.
You're right.
You got me on one.
I didn't even
they beat
answer
the Orioles
correctly.
in 73. 72 they beat Detroit. I think 73 they beat the Orioles. And the A's beat the Mets in the World Series in 7 games.
I'm throwing out questions that don't exist. How many homers did Eckersley have? What an idiot.
I'll give you. I was just at the World Series. Let me give you a good baseball one, a good little baseball story that you get a kick out of. Well, I'll give you a good football story. When Gifford, his first year with the football Giants,
Going back.
in 1952, Gifford was Heisman Trophy winning running back, USC, Bakersfield, California. He plays both ways, defensive back and he's a running back. Gets drafted by the Giants, and the Giants drafted him because USC played an Army in 51, and Wellington Mara, the owner, was also the head scout. So he saw him, liked him. Giants made him the first pick or the first round pick in a 52 draft. His first year with the Giants were 3-9, and Gifford had a very physicality type year. He's running the ball. This is 50s football. It's rough. Playing defense at the end of the year. And NFL football in 53 is a little different. And at the end of the year, Gifford told he said, listen, I've had it. This is too much for me. I'll go back to California and do commercials. He's a good-looking guy, Gifford. He's a Heisman Trophy winning running back. Played at USC. I've had it. This is too much. We were lousy. I lost 25 pounds at the end of the season. And Mara said, do me a favor. Give me one more year. Twisted his arm. Gifford said, all right, I'll give you one more. I'll try it my second year. Goes back off season, comes back in July of 53, training camps in Vermont. Goes into the first day of practice, knocks on the new defense. Don't forget, Frank plays both ways. He knocks on the new defensive coordinator's door, Tom Landry. New offensive coordinator's door, Vince Lombardi.
Jesus.
That's a good one.
Jesus.
I'm going to give you another one on football. I'm into the football right now. I'll give you one more. Then you guys can battle away.
Landry and Vince Lombardi,
That's pretty good. I mean, all of a sudden, those are two of the great coaches of all time. I got those two guys to be on a staff. 58 championship game. That's the most important game in the history of the NFL. Colts, Giants, Yankee Stadium. Giants had won in 56, got the title game in 57. Colts had Unitas. In that game, 17-14, Giants lead late in the fourth quarter. Unitas and Ray Berry. Berry was a tremendous wide receiver. He was as good a wide receiver as ever. He's top 5 wide receivers of all time. We all know Unitas. Mm-hmm. In that game, it was 2nd and 10, Colts last drive, at the 22-yard line, down by 3. Giants medal at the Yankee Stadium. In that particular formation, Berry winds up as a wide receiver, and Harlan Savar, a giant linebacker, lined up to the inside of Berry. In preseason the year before, in a game, the linebacker did the similar thing, Joe Schmidt of the Lions. And they ran a play, didn't work. After the game, Unitas said to Ray, says, when the linebacker does that, let's try this play. Let's run this route if he lines up there. Move forward a year and a half. That was the first time since that preseason game the year before that a linebacker lined up against Berry in that situation. Different pass pattern, 25-yard gain, first down, kick the field goal, win in overtime. Think about that for a second. You got Unitas and Berry, a play they did not practice for a year and a half, but they're so together. Hall of Fame wide receiver, best quarterback maybe in the history of the sport.
Sure.
And they saw a play in preseason. The year before, when the linebackers lined up a certain way, boom. The next year in a championship game now. This is not some, rinky-dink September game, Niners and the Colts. These are Colts Giants.
You don't see that
Show
kind
me
of...
enthusiasm, Anthony.
You don't see that kind of improvisation. You don't see that kind of improvisation anymore.
At the line of scrimmage,
Right.
Today you got people talking.
They tell you what to do.
There's nothing going on.
Right.
So I like that. Those are the kind of stories that I like.
So what can you tell me about my Jets? What's going to happen with the Jets this year?
The Jets got an easy. Listen, here's what you got with the Jets. They got to win this week. St. Louis 6-3. Their next 2 games are tough games. At New England next Thursday night. NFL Network. Do you have the NFL Network, by the way?
Hell no.
You better have it. Well, no, that game will be on over the air New York, so you'll be okay. And then after that, they play at Tennessee. So you'd like to get a split in those 2. Win this week. You're 7-4. You got an easy last 5 games. The Jets should make the playoffs. They'll probably get no more than 10. Be a wild card team. The division is there for them. 3 teams at 5-3. No Brady, but probably wild card. Probably make the playoffs. I would say the Jets got a chance to make the postseason.
Are the Pats surprising you this year?
Not with Belichick.
True.
They're only going to be a 10-6 team. Pats aren't winning a Super Bowl. But, he's so good.
They're making it interesting.
They're so good, the Pats. Yeah. I mean, he's such a good coach.
And what about Jimmy's Cowboys?
Here's the thing with the Cowboys, Jimmy.
Weren't they 4-0? Didn't they start 4-0?
Maybe been 3.
It was 3-0.
It's either 3. It may have been 4. I think it was 3, though. I think it was. But the Cowboys, after the Green Bay game, they won 3. Then they lost to the Redskins.
Ask him in 20 years, he'll know.
Yeah. Cowboys have to beat that Redskin game next week. They play the Redskins off their bye week in Washington. That is a game they have to win because that'll put them at 6-4. Their next 2 after that are the Niners and Seattle at home around Thanksgiving. 8-4, in good shape. But they lose to the Redskins, then the Redskins have a 2.5 game lead because they would have beaten the Cowboys twice, and they'd be 7-3, and the Cowboys would be 5-5. So the game next Sunday night, NBC, in Washington, is the biggest game of the year for Dallas. Have to win the game. I think they will.
More importantly about sports, when is someone going to tell John Sterling to stop yelling, the Giambino?
Well, he's not going to yell it anymore because Giambi's out of there.
Oh, good.
But and Yankees win and all that kind of stuff.
I hate that. I'm a Mets
we hate
fan,
the Yankees. We all hate the Yankees. You hate the Yankees, Andy?
Well, you're a Giants fan.
I've been a Yankee fan.
You like the Giants, right?
Big Giant fan.
Yeah.
But it's just been such a disappointment over the past few years.
Yeah, they kick out of that first round. Baseball's weird. I thought Tampa for sure beat the Phillies. I was shocked. I mean, they were hot. They beat the Red Sox. They got through the American League East, and they come out and play fizzled baseball there for 5 days. Shocked.
It's great for Philly. It's great for Philly.
I don't think I ever got over that choke with Boston with the Yankees.
They haven't really recovered since
never
then.
got
They
over
haven't
that.
recovered since the 2001 series. They haven't recovered.
Well, you could argue that, but the Red Sox, the year before, they got the home run from Boone. That was a great win. And then they blow that 3-zip lead. Again, I've come to the conclusion in sports that you got to make the playoffs and be in the race every year. And when you are in that situation, eventually the ball is going to bounce the right way. Yeah. Look at the Phillies. 5-6 years in a row. Look at the Colts with Manning. 5 or 6 years in a row. All of a sudden, they have a big. They win. I mean,
you got to be in it. Yeah, you got to be in it.
You're in it 7 times. One of those years, you're going to win.
Something's going to happen. Right.
That's the way I look at it.
Speaking of that, should they have ever gotten rid of Joe Torre?
Oh, no, definitely not.
Yeah, of course not.
That was a terrible move.
You think so?
Well,
I kind of was happy. I love Torre, but he had, in fairness, he had a great team, and he had won in what, almost, it was 7 years in a row.
Well, what do you say now about Girardi? I mean, Torre made the playoffs. Girardi
he was making the playoffs.
So if Torre wanted him gone, let's get Girardi the hell out of there. Girardi didn't even make the postseason.
It's hard, though. I just think it's hard. I like Torre. I just think it's really hard when you got guys like Alex Rodriguez who aren't going to perform, or certain things that are done in the front office where you really can't blame the...
Well, you can't blame the player, so I mean,
you can't blame the coach for the player not doing his job. I mean, although Torre brought in Rivera way too early, I got tired of the 2-inning Rivera. I didn't want that.
Well, I understand that. Listen, he was there a long time, and so eventually the Yankee fan's going to get sick. It's like anything else in life. When you're there in the spotlight for so long, eventually they're going to kick you out. That's what it was. They're going to kick you out. And that's kind of what happened with Torre. They got tired of him. Fans got a little tired of him. Ownership got tired of him, and out he went. But he has the last laugh. Dodgers make the playoffs in the playoff round, and the Yankees are going to make the
disaster.
What do you think, Mad Dog?
Get out of here! You played the.
I used to do Mikey.
You played the crying effect.
You used to imitate us all the time, you guys.
No, I would just do the easy
I was
part.
back in the old days.
Yeah, people enjoyed answering.
Oh, you love that. You guys. Hey, you guys are good to us. You always talk.
That.
Hey, we got a Buffalo guy checking in. He wants
let's
to know,
hear from him.
He wants to know. Well, he's on instant feedback. He wants to know about his Bills.
was a tough loss
pretty
last
exciting
week.
year.
Good year for him. 5-3. He's a good coach. It's a big game for him this week, and they play at New England.
Right.
This is a very important game.
Did you hear what happened at the Bills-Jets game? Something for your show to spice it up a little bit
happened?
there, Mad Dog. A lot of arrests and a couple having sex in the bathroom during the third.
Is that accurate?
During the third quarter, yeah, it made the news.
Wow, I didn't know that. Well, maybe a lot of Jet fans up there, so there was a little feistiness between both teams. I didn't see that.
37 people arrested at the game past weekend, including a couple having sex in the bathroom during the third quarter.
Oh my God!
Wow.
The game wasn't that bad, for God's sakes.
I lived in Western New York for 10 years, and I got to go to a lot of Bills games. They are passionate up there about their team.
That's
all they got up there, though.
It's a good. You like that sports town. They deserve to have a champion.
It's like Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, same type of town.
We did a lot of that last week because the Phillies broke their snide because they hadn't won in a long time.
Yeah.
Buffalo's one of these franchises hasn't won in a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cleveland hasn't won in a long time. Seattle hasn't won. Seattle's only got one championship, the Sonics.
Yep.
Cleveland hasn't won since 1964 in the Browns.
Cleveland is
There you
hurt.
go.
They are hurting for a winner up there.
They've had terrible losses.
And they're going to lose LeBron, too. You know that.
They probably will.
What is this trend the Yankees have, which it was gone when Steinbrenner was head of baseball? It's, enough with the big free agents. They don't. A-Rod
they're going to spend money this year.
Stunk since he got here. They didn't win with him. They won with Brocious off a scrap heap, and guys like Paul O'Neill, who they picked up. They won with guys who weren't these gigantic free agent moves. Why are they back to doing that?
Well, I think this year, they didn't do it last year. They let Santana they didn't sign him. They didn't make a move to get him and then give him $140 million. This year, the Yankees are going to spend money. Remember, the Yankees have $88 million coming off that payroll. Mussina, Pettit, Abreu, Giambi, Pavano. They got a lot of guys coming off that payroll. And so they got $88 million. You got $88 million off the payroll. They didn't win last year. They finished in third place. Tampa won, the Red Sox won, and the Red Sox were heroic when they played well, the Red Sox. They lost, but they played well. A lot of injuries. So the Yankees this year are going to spend a ton of money.
How about the farm system?
They're going to offer CC's back $150 million.
How about the farm system? How about the farm system?
I understand.
Guys.
Well, and
I want young guys.
I understand what you want. You
Who's
want
Ramiro Mendoza?
I know what you want. Jimmy, I know what you want.
I was out of touch for a second. Ramirez? Yankees going to sign Ramirez?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Hey, who wins the Super Bowl this year? Put you on the spot.
Right now the Giants are the best team.
Really?
Oh, they by far the best team.
I hate Big Blue.
They're the best team. 7-1. They're playing well. They got a good team.
I'm a suffering New York fan.
They probably, right now it's Giants in Tennessee, but do you see Tennessee in the Super Bowl?
No.
I would look for a team
in the World Series, though. So.
I would look for a team to get hot late, because sometimes when you have these kind of seasons like the Giants, you get picked off by a team that gets going at the right time. But who is going to get going in the NFL?
Did you think the Jets picking up Favre was a...
Yeah, I don't know if I would have done it because it's only a one-year thing, but I can certainly understand why the Jets. It gives them a little personality.
Yeah, I think it was more to put some asses in seats
That's true.
in the
They got
stadium.
this PSL.
Yeah,
and Pennington's playing well for Miami, Pennington's played well.
Jesus
Christ.
Christ.
Played well. They've won 4 games. They've done well, the Dolphins.
Yeah, Big Ken's happy with the Dolphins.
Hysterical and shit like that happens.
Yeah.
They've done a nice job.
Hey, what about hockey? Why don't you talk more hockey?
I did 3 spots 3 weeks ago on the opening of the season in a 4-day period. Hockey is
Bettman on. He was a good guest. You had Gary on, right?
I had Bettman on. I had JD on. I had Barry Melrose on, and I had a writer on. So I did some hockey. Hockey is like the NBA. Those sports are postseason because there's so many regular season games and no teams get eliminated.
Gotcha.
More than half the teams make the playoffs. Remember baseball. There's 30 some odd teams. Only 8 go to the postseason.
Yeah.
Football, there's 30 some odd teams. Only 12 go to the postseason.
Yeah.
So the regular season value is important. In the NBA and the NHL, everybody gets in.
It seems like those seasons go on forever, too.
It starts in October and it ends in May.
My sport's hockey. I'm a big hockey fan.
Islanders?
Yeah, of course, suffering
for a while.
Forever.
Still waiting.
DiPietro has...
Wednesday at 10 of 11. Middle of the week. Is this when you're 5 hours to get a little tired right around now doing these shows or not?
No, not really.
Getting up, crack of dawn? No.
Sometimes
we have to end. We have to end on time today because I got to catch another train to Philly to do wedding stuff all day.
Wedding stuffs.
That wedding is very tricky. I tell you right now. I will say this:
it's stressful, man.
Being engaged is harder than being married.
Really?
Yeah.
Because your wife to be is all stressed out.
Well, yeah.
I always felt China patterns.
Oh, you had one of those big weddings and stuff?
Well, big enough.
Big enough.
China patterns and reception halls and
How about
churches
the
and
dumb-
ministers, all that stuff.
How about the dumb meeting for the font for your stupid invitation? I'm like, all right, I understand I don't want something. They pulled out book after book. After
Oh, yeah, what the invitation looks like, you mean?
Yeah,
Yes.
but I didn't know there was 10,000 fonts you had to choose from.
No, that too.
I'm
And
like,
how about tables?
Did you go
ever done
with
a table?
wingdings?
Have you done a table
I went
yet?
with dingbats.
That table's going to take you a long time.
And then someone warned me about the chair
You married,
people.
Jimmy?
No.
That table's going to take you a long time. Figuring out those tables, who sits where, where to put the wife's family, your family. It's a pain in the neck.
Just put hostile people with each other to really
How great
screw
is that?
things up.
Yeah.
I would have just taken off and got married if
So you have to
Now that I
drive to
know what I
Philly.
know.
You have to go to Philly today for this?
for the whole
Take the
day,
train or
and
you
then come
drive?
back to go to bed so we can do the show again.
You should just let her make the
Are
decision.
you getting married in Philly?
Yeah,
So everything is based in Philadelphia.
yeah,
So that makes it tricky.
yeah.
Are you going to
very.
be invited? See,
Oh,
best
of course.
No.
Nah. He's got so many brothers and stuff.
Man? Oh, you got lots of brothers.
It's a brother thing. Yeah, it's all brothers.
I don't want to be in wedding parties anymore.
You
I've
said
had
you were
it.
hurt that you weren't in it.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, remember when I said that? Yeah, sure. Believe me.
How
Sit
many
me
people in
down,
your
give me
wedding
a
party do
drink.
you have? How many brothers do you have? You have 3 brothers?
4.
So they're all in, and you got
And a couple
is your
brothers-
best man
and
a brother?
And a few, yeah, and a few brothers down in Philly.
How about any
new brothers.
brother-in-laws?
Nah.
Okay, because I have a couple of brother-in-laws in mine.
Oh, really?
Because my wife's from a family of 6.
I picked my
Wow.
nephew over
Yeah.
brother-in-laws.
You did pick in that. Well, okay, so long as everybody's okay.
He's a
about
big Gators fan.
that. Oh, he is.
Loves his college football. Huge fan.
And you have
Travels
never
to
been,
all the games.
You have never been married, right?
Hell no.
Well, that's gonna be an adjustment for you.
It's going to be an adjustment.
Tell him,
for you.
man. What do you got the case in point right in front of you.
He lived through my whole friggin' marriage
Hell
and divorce. He
You're
was
that
there
s-
for pretty much the entire
You're
thing.
not soured by it, huh?
Wait, why,
Yeah.
Mad Dog? Why don't you tell me?
I think you'll get in. You'll be okay with it. It's
you-
fun.
Yeah,
It's
What-
fun.
what-
But there's
what don't-
times where it's dependent. You know,
What
you
don't
got.
you like about being married?
I think your freedom is not yours. You have to do certain things. Happy wife, happy life.
Well, with kids too, though.
Well, yeah, he's not
Whole
going to be in
nother
that
story.
situation, so let's leave the kids out. But you have to do certain things. You might have to give up a Sunday afternoon football game because, your wife's best friend is invited you to dinner. So, there's certain things you have to make some compromises, and you have to just deal with it. And here's the best advice I've ever gotten. Don't fight the small things. Toothpaste cap on toothpaste. Toilet seat down. Make the bed right.
But does the wife also not sweat the small things?
Well, the wife will sweat the small things.
Yeah.
Because women will argue over things that are just ridiculous because they want to argue. Don't sweat the small things.
Don't give in to
Pick the
that.
big issues.
Right.
Pick your big issues.
Yeah.
If your wife wants you to, if she's a rough backseat driver, let her be a backseat driver. It's not worth your aggravation to start issues. You gotta have enough fights in your life. Just don't start them over that.
beaten.
I will say this though. You have any kids, Anthony?
No.
I will say this. The best bond that you're ever going to have with your wife is when that first kid is born. Because now you will have kids, I'm sure, right? Your wife's young. When that first kid is born, and one day you'll be back in the same
Wow,
boat.
no way.
I'll say it again. The only kids I like are in my bed.
Now, there are
years
issues
old.
with children. There are issues with
Uncle
children that
Paul.
are very, very hard. Very hard.
Yeah.
Because then your life is never the same. You're never going to sleep the same. You're never going to do anything the way you want to do it.
See, that
but
scares the
when
shit out
that
of me.
first child is born and you go through that experience, that's a bond that's it's something you're never going to forget.
But doesn't it? Because I've heard from some husbands that the husband-wife relationship changes now to parents instead of being like lovers.
Oh, absolutely.
And that all of a sudden your parents, now there's this middle man or
I'm
woman,
only talking
girl,
about
boy
the.
thing.
I'm only talking about the week in and around. I'm not talking 6 to months or 5 years later. And you put little kids on. I have 4, 9, and under.
Wow.
No, I have help.
Wow.
I have help.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah,
like it's just-
sure.
I make sure my wife gets a babysitter on Sunday afternoons. Make sure. Now, I'll give you an
Yeah.
example. Saturday night, I get to take my wife out Saturday night. Now, I'm working 5 days here. I get home at 8 and 9 o'clock at night. Leave, sometimes early in the morning.
Yeah.
Sunday football. So Oklahoma State, Texas Tech Saturday night. I'm sorry. I'll have to give that up.
You're gonna have
Texas
to
Tech,
go
Texas.
out.
You're gonna have to give that up. You on the same? You right now. Now you're not as big a sports fan as me, but you watch a big game if it was on, right?
Oh, absolutely,
You're
yeah.
gonna have to give that up. Because your wife's not a sports fan, right?
No, she is.
But I mean, Texas. She's not.
Oh no, not that deep.
That's a sports
not
fan.
Not that deep. No.
So you're gonna have to give that up. You're gonna have to give that. You're gonna have to give that up. A lot of guys don't want to give that up. You know, half the time I'm in a bar with a big game like that. Honey, I'll be right back. You gotta check the score. You have a wife who understands that.
But doesn't she understand that's what's paying the bills? That you need to be watching all this stuff?
Absolutely, she understands. But there are times.
There's a difference between.
There are times. Yeah, I have an excuse because it's my career. But there are times that you can't get around the inconvenience of the marriage scenario. You gotta deal with it.
Like she knows you're using the fact that it's your career as an excuse because you really want to watch a game. Like there are times like I have to for work, but she's like, you can just read the paper tomorrow. You don't need to watch this.
Occasionally she'll give me the TiVo excuse, but for the most part,
goddamn technology.
for the most part, my family knows. My kids get a little annoyed at me sometimes because they think I watch sports more than I watch my kids, which is accurate, by the way. But sometimes they think I'm more into the sports. Sports is my mistress, and I'm more into sports than I am with my kids.
Yeah. As long as you remember their birthdays, like you remember.
I barely figure. I got one coming up December 18th. There you go.
Wow.
You guys do a great job, though.
Yeah,
we have fun.
You know, this was just the icebreaker. We'd love to get you on the show more.
We'll do it anytime, 5 blocks away. You ask me anytime you want.
We would love to. And
we'll reciprocate. We'll get you over there.
We'll come in the little box studio that you're in there.
Organized. Well, I mean, let me get the channel organized, and we'll get you.
We're just getting started with Russo, but let me tell you something. I'm a longtime New Yorker, and I listened to Mad Dog with Mike for, I can't even tell you how many years, 14 years off and on. And for the new people around the country, you got to give Mad Dog a shot.
Well, I appreciate it.
I'm serious. I really do like listening to you. And there's not a lot of guys I like listening to on the radio. I like Ron and Fez. I like you.
Yeah,
I like Brother Weeze in Rochester. Not many people know him, you know, and the list is very small.
You still listen to Dimus right now or not?
It's hard.
The show has changed.
Same hours, you know? Same hours. So.
And the show has changed some.
Yeah,
is it polite now?
I think I haven't heard more politically correct.
Yeah, he is.
In all fairness, when we were off the air, I was watching him every morning on MSNBC. I loved it. Loved it, but no, not so much lately.
How was that for, you know, you were on TV on the Yes Network there for a while. It was a lot harder. Were you conscious all the time of that the cameras were on you?
I mean, it does take away a little element of it.
Because here, I know, when we go to spots, just, you know, to make sure the mics are off and everything, sometimes you throw your headphones off and you might have a discussion with each other. That's,
on TV, it's a little harder.
You got to watch out for
You have to be careful on a television.
Yeah.
Does Mike actually think he's handsome? I could not believe the way he primps his hair up. I'm like, does he really think he's cute?
When he wear the headphones so he wouldn't muss his hair?
Yeah, Mike does have a good head of hair. He's got a good head of hair.
But what do you throw the headphones on like Steve Martin with the arrow? Who gives a shit? For sports.
What does he do to have fun? He looks like he doesn't like to have fun.
Yeah. Mike has an excellent, down deep. He has a gruff personality. We all know that. But down deep, he's a good person. Yeah. And he loves his kids. And he's a great sports fan, Mike. The idea that Mike doesn't sit there and watch the football and watch, he's totally into it. So, listen, he loves the Kennedy administration. I'm sure he's wrapped up with the politics last night. I know he went to Hofstra for the McCain-Obama debate. So, he's a good husband. So he's got his niche. He does. Boy, sound like a lovey-dovey. But he's got his niche.
It sounds like a testimonial. You give it a trial. He's a good husband. He always pays his taxes.
His wife called me the day before I started, wishing me luck. That was a pretty classy thing for her.
Did he, though?
I think the fact that she did is almost more significant because he knew that.
Would you call? Of course not, because he knows that you're going to do better than he is.
No, you can't look at it that way. He's going to do well. Mike's going to do well.
You're going to be very tough to replace over there. I'm not just saying that because you're here, but I would listen to the show. And, look, I know you can't say yes or no, but I would listen for you the same as Oak would. The same as Oak would.
We work for the same company as Mike. I haven't listened since you left.
You haven't picked it on one time?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
What?
Even if you're curious about a big game to talk about. How about you, Anthony? No,
it's your personality is always the one of the energizing factor.
It's about personality.
We
all know that.
Yes. That show should have been called "And the Mad Dog." It's all about you.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything nasty or anything.
No, don't. We got to be nice to him.
But the truth of the matter is, it's what I would, I would listen because.
Well, the ratings supposedly they haven't decreased. These new people meters, whatever they're called. So who knows? Maybe these.
I would.
I tried to move forward.
You're building your new thing with Sirius XM.
We know how it is to sometimes have those light days where you really don't have much to talk about. And those days, there was one day I was driving home and I heard you and Mike talking, and you're like, "What the hell was it?" It's like
it was the ratings.
No. It was Rivera. Rivera.
Okay.
Rivera comes out to Anna Sandman. You can't have another guy coming out to the
We
same
did that
song.
Billy Wagner thing
And
forever.
I
Yes.
was laughing my ass off going, holy shit. They're arguing over the Metallica song and how many two guys.
Yeah.
But I
Hey,
could
people
not
got
tune,
into it.
I could not tune away because it was the most ridiculous conversation for you two to be having. And I'm going, it's a light day. It's a light.
You guys
We all have those light days.
Yeah,
guys
you
all-
got to make something.
You got to create. You got 5 hours. You got to
can't
create.
just
That's
be,
not that
be
easy.
quiet. But I'm listening and laughing.
Yeah,
you can't have two guys having the same song.
They also did obscure Nielsen ratings for obscure games.
We did that.
It was
I
like
love
college
to do
football.
that.
Like they did 3.2. I think they should have done 3.4. Like what?
And he went down the whole thing.
We did those sheets. I love that stuff. Oh, I love that.
I got to get on a train, but really fast. I diehard Knicks fan. I'm dying.
They'll be better.
How many more years do I
D'Antoni's
have
a
to
good
wait?
coach.
How many more years do I have to wait?
2010.
And when are they shipping Marbury out?
I think that will come to a conclusion next couple weeks. This
Yeah.
can't go on like this. Sooner or later.
Yeah, all right.
Guys, thanks for having me.
Here's the
Hey,
thing.
please. Thanks for coming in, man.
I'm sure Mike is a very passionate guy too, but you came off like the really passionate sports fan. It was interesting. It
We
was
just
very,
express it in different ways.
very
That's why the show's
compelling to
successful.
listen to. That's why it's like Satellite really stole you from. I mean, they stole like
Oh,
a
yeah, they
major
did.
player in New York radio. So I just think it's great, man. I really do. I think it's
appreciate
great
that. I
radio
really
show.
do.
You translate well.
Tell everybody
sports fan.
what the channel is.
123 on Sirius, 144 on XM.
Wait, I got a promo for a show.
I'm going to miss that show.
Oh, God!
That's a nice promo.
I wanted to say I didn't listen this morning. I didn't think it was.
You are.
I couldn't listen to the calls this morning. I didn't want to listen.
So what I'm
You know,
what I'm
Doug,
gonna
one
be
guy
doing
today
is
said, because I'm going to break the mood here because you're going to make me cry. I'm never going to forget
Sorry,
it.
again, 2 for 2. I got
One guy said today that we were like the breakup of the Beatles. Eddie told me when
I was,
we walked
I was in the
Eddie
Jersey
said,
Shore doing that August 15th.
Be comfortable because
Oh,
the guy
God.
said you were John. And I said, oh, good, as long as dog was Ringo.
See, I got mad at that because Mike really believes he was John Lennon, and I'm like, stop.
That was a tough comparison.
Stop.
Yeah, he didn't have to give you Ringo. He could have given you Paul.
Yeah, at least
Almighty.
You know, Ringo, Jesus.
At least he didn't give you George. All right. Jimmy's funny.
Yeah, of course he is. Get his book too. He's got a book called.
Yeah, I see that. Let me have it over there. Why don't you sign it for me
tonight.
For Christ's sake?
I don't know if you should be reading I Hate Your Guts.
I don't know. You know what? He
I
may
don't
not
know.
agree with a lot of it, but I go to I
he
go to
takes
bat
some-
for Imus very strongly in this.
He takes
Oh,
some
you do?
shots.
Good for you.
He takes some shots.
Not at
some
these
people.
guys.
No, not at you. Of course not. But
I'm signing tonight at Borders, or is it Barnes & Noble in
Car Place.
Car Place in
Oh,
Long
that's a good
Island.
story. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
7 p.m. and Anthony will be there. And
Good for you,
on
Anthony.
Old Country Road.
Show him some support.
Old Country
Oh,
Road.
We have
going there.
lines at the building for that?
It's close enough to my house. so I just
we
go.
do very well.
Throw it
Oh,
in.
those
been
folks
great.
do well.
Our fans are great.
No,
Yeah,
they are
they're
very
absolutely
loyal.
great.
They do a wonderful
Maniacs.
job. Yeah.
We're not gonna do line of the day. I really got to hit a train. But
Yeah, we gotta get outta here.
Webex.com does line of the day. You do the meetings from home. Webex.com.
Yeah, whole meetings. It's a video.
Video
Conference.
conferencing.
It's
But
great.
we use it for other things. But some people actually use it for good things.
And I love this studio. Boy, oh boy.
Hey, anytime.
They're taking it away from us.
We'll see how long.
Yeah, maybe not for a while.
We'll
Maybe they
keep
don't want
s-
to do construction
We'll
yet.
keep screwing things up. So
That's
they
going to
keep
take
us over
serious
here.
a while to get that organized. So you
Yes,
can-
exactly.
No kidding. I don't know if we're ready to go over there yet.
Wouldn't surprise
on a
me if-
full-time basis.
Maybe they'll move everybody from over there to these little offices here to save a few bucks.
All right, Russo, the channel again.
123, 144. 2 to 7 every day. That Mad Dog channel probably in about a month.
Yeah, give him a shot. Seriously, if you're a sports
Oh,
fan,
thanks, pal.
especially.
Absolutely.
Oh,
All right, he'll be back.
Hey, boys.
We got
a
a
lot,
bail.
man.
We'll see you guys soon. Opie and
Later.
Anthony.